Hello everyone, welcome back to my videos guys. So today I'm going to be making a video on how to do like calculations using Android Studio. So guys, I haven't made a video for a long time because I've been in my studies and I haven't gotten time. So finally it's spring break, so I can definitely make a video now. So basically in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to make like a calculator kind of app, but I'm only going to show you like one, like multiplication, and you guys can also implement others. And so I'll just show you like the basics, and then you guys can also make it better. And like, yeah, so let's head on to Android Studio. And so let's just wait for this to load. It's gonna take a little bit because I'm recording and I'm on a different project right now, so I'm just gonna close this and I'm going to create a new one. So I'm going to click File, New Project, and I'm just going to do an empty activity project for phone and tablet. Let's click Next. I'm just going to call this calculator, okay, wait. So I'm just going to call this calculator app. So finish. And let's wait for it to open up. So yeah, this is gonna take a little bit to load. So I'll be right back when all of this, the Gradle sync progress and everything just loads. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so our app is done loading. So I'm just gonna fix something because I always get this error whenever I create a new project. So I'm gonna quickly show you how to fix this. So if you guys are also getting this error, if you guys don't have this added, just make sure you guys add this. So over here you have to come to the Android manifest.xml file. It's under the manifests folder. So you come here, and as you guys can see, you see this line, activity, and then Android name, and then you do. So I'm just gonna press enter here before Android, and I press enter here, and I'm gonna add something else. I'm gonna add Android exported. So exported equals, we have to do true. And now this will fix any error if it says like your app or project does not support like higher SDK. So this will fix any error like that. So if you guys have this and you guys still see an error, well, I cannot help you there because I don't know how to do that yet. So if you guys do want me to help you with that later on, you guys can just tell me in the comments. So I'm going to go back to main activity. Actually, let's go back to our page and start first by creating our page. So I'm going to delete this. Oops, no, just delete it. There you go. So I'm just going to zoom in a bit. Oops, a little bit too much. Okay. So here I'm just going to add a edit text. So plain text right here. So here we're going to have our edit text. So I'm going to add this on the top. The text will be, okay, we're not going to have any text actually because we're going to do a hint. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to name this, so first num, there you go, because this is the first number that they're going to enter. So I'm also just going to add edit text, first num edit text. And so because this is the first number they're going to enter to do their calculation, now we're going to just add a normal text view. And actually we should add our hint before we do anything in this one. So hint, and I'm just gonna write enter your first number ... There you go. And so now we can go to this text view, and so let's give this ID multiply text view. There you go, and I'm gonna press refactor. So because in this I'm only gonna show you guys multiplication, but of course you guys can change it and make it like very, like they can also like type which one they want or like do a drop down. But so if you guys know how to do a drop down, you can also do that, and they can like choose like if they want to do, let's say, multiplication, division. But for now I'm just gonna show you the basic multiplication. I'm not gonna make it like changeable, so I'm gonna write multiplied by, and I'm gonna make the text a little bit bigger. So size, so text size, let's do maybe 24. Oops, 24 is a bit too big. Let's do 20. Yep, 20 seems about right. We also have to add our constraints. Completely forgot, so let's add our constraints. So I'm gonna do this constraint here, and this constraint right here, and I'm gonna keep it right here. So now we're gonna have a constraint to here. This one's gonna be constraint to right here. Oops, oh my god, I keep messing it up. Okay, there you go. Let's move it a bit down. Let's constrain it here and over here. There you go. So I'm just gonna keep it here because we're also gonna add a button to like calculate. We're gonna add a button calculate, and it's gonna give our answer down here. So we're gonna have to also add that. So now let's add our next. We can actually just copy. Actually, let's not copy because that'll just be easier to make a new one. There you go. Let's add our constraint again. So let's do here. There you go. Let's go down. And I'm just gonna fix this. There you go. So now we move this here, and we have added our constraint. So this is now, let's change this. So I'm gonna take away all the text because we don't need a text. This is gonna be second num. So second num edit text. There you go. Second num edit text, and let's add a hint. Let's do enter your second number dot dot dot. And you can't okay, I'm gonna make this a bit longer so you can see the full text. Enter your second number. There you go. So now so now I'm gonna add a button. So let's see. So let's add a button. So let's go to our button. Let's do right here. I'm not gonna make the whole page look good because that's not what I'm trying to do right now. I'm just trying to make it functional. So let's just move these here. Move this a bit down. There you go. So the button ID will be calculate button, and we're gonna type the text. Oops, cancel. Okay, the text gonna be calculate. There you go. And so that's it. So we have everything here. What we all need to do is just a text. We have to add text view, and so I'm gonna make the text view a bit bigger just so you can see whatever number it is. And you know, if it is a big number, you know, like there might be like some errors, like, or it won't fit on the whole thing, but you know, it's fine because we can always change that later. Whenever we're trying to make it good, we can change it later. So right now, if you guys do see any error, like the number when you calculate it's too big, it doesn't fit in the screen, well, you guys can find a way to do that. Right now I'm just showing you guys how to do the calculations and make it functional. So let's change the ID to answer. Okay, answer text view. Okay, and there's gonna be no text. We can actually keep text, but there's gonna be for now no text. So there you go, and yep, that is done. So I'm just gonna add the constraints for this too. So let's move this here, move this to the side, move this to the side. Let's just move it a bit down. There you go. So now we have created our actual page. So now let's start on making it functional. So we have to first just get all of these into our class. So up here, let's create private. So the first one's going to be edit text. So edit text. We can actually do these both for edit text. So we can do edit text num1. There you go, comma, and then num2, because we don't have to do it twice. We can just do num1, comma, num2. So this is num1, and oops, and this is num2, and we don't have to write it in the same line. We can just write comma instead of writing another private edit text num2. So now let's go to our next line, private. We're going to add, we don't need to add this text view because this is going to stay the same unless you're wanting to change it or like do something with it, but we're not going to. So we're going to add our button, private button. So button, there you go. And of course, every time we do this, it imports the button by itself, the Android widget. So the button, we're gonna, I guess, so what is it? What did we name the button? Oops, we didn't actually do the ID. So let's change this to calculate button. Refactor that. Let's see if it changed. Oops. Let's see if it changed. Yep, so now it did change. I guess we forgot to do the ID. So now we're going to do private button. We're going to do calc button. We're going to do calc button. There you go. And we're going to also add a private text view. It has to be capital text view. There you go. And we're going to call it answer text. Answer text. There you go. So now let's go to our on create and let's set all of these values to all of these widgets that we have here. So let's do num1 equals find view by ID r.id dot. So we're gonna do first. There you go. And so now in our next line, num2 equals find view by id r.id dot second num. There you go. So now we're going to do it for button. So calc button equals find view by id. So basically here we're setting the IDs. We're setting all of these variables to their widget, to like their ID. So we have to find the ID, and then so we do r.id dot. Then we give it the actual ID. So this button will be the same value as this actual button, so that we can use it in our code. So we're gonna write calculate button. There you go. And finally, we're gonna do answer text equals find view by id r.id dot answer text view. There you go. And so that's why IDs make it important, because we need to add all these IDs to know which one we're going to do. So first num edit text, we know it's for num1. So now with this, we're going to make our button. We're gonna have it an on click. So we're gonna do calc button dot set on click listener. So whenever we click it, new on click listener. There you go. And I'm gonna replace this with lambda, because this just makes it neater. There you go. So guys, now inside of here is where we're going to use these, and we're going to check the values, and we're going to do multiply num1 multiplied by num2. So we first have to get the values. So we're going to have to create new ones. So we're going to basically do string number one equals. We have to do num1, but this won't work. If we do this won't work, because number one is it's classified as edit text, not string. So we have a simple fix for that. If you guys know, you can do dot toString dot trim. There you go. And now it will change it into string, and it will just trim it. So if there's any extra things, like, yeah, it'll just trim, just makes it a little bit more neater. So let's do this for number 2. So number 2 equals num2 dot get. Wait, we have to also do get text. So dot get text dot toString dot trim. So dot get text dot toString dot trim. There you go. And now we have gotten the text and put it in its string, and we've trimmed it into number 1, and same for number 2. There you go. So now we're also just going to we can also, so we can actually leave answer text, our text view, without having to put anything in the variable, because we don't actually have anything inside of it yet. So next, what we're going to do is basically multiply number 1 times number 2, because since we're multiplying, we're going to do that. So if you guys are changing like letting the user choose if it's going to be multiplication, division, or anything else, you're going to have to get whatever it is. So let's say we have a drop down, you're going to have to get the drop down. Of course, we don't have a drop down, so we're going to import the drop down. We're going to get it into it, and then we're going to set the value using the find view by ID. Then here we're going to do we could do like a if or else, or we could do a case, switch case, and that would change it. So case 1, multiplication, then you could just set it to, and then you could do the multiplication. So we could basically do that instead. But for now, I'm only doing multiplication, so we don't have to make it that complicated. So let's just we're going to have to create another string, answer, and we're not going to give it any value. So next, we're going to do num, or we can actually just make it better. We can do equals number one times number 2. There you go. And so, okay guys, so we have an error here, which is that actually these are strings, so we cannot multiply them since they are not strings, and they are strings, and we have to make them integers. So we have a fix for this, which can be, let's do an int this time. So int, we're going to do first num equals, we have to do integer dot parse int, and we're gonna do number 1. There you go. And this changes this integer this string into an integer. So let's do this for the second one. So int sec num, so for second num, So it equals integer dot parse int and number 2. There you go. And now we have done that, so all we have to do is first num times second num. So first num times second num. There you go. And we have to also change the answer to int. There you go. And now we have gotten our answer. So int is the answer. So now all we have to do is set our text view to the answers. What we will do is answer text dot set text, and we will just give answer inside it. There you go. And now we are done. So let's try to run this. So I'm gonna just so let's try to run it. So I'm just gonna change this because every time I have to use a new one since like it stops working after a while. So I'm gonna delete this one and let's create a new emulator. So I'm just gonna do latest, next, finish. And there you go, and let's just wait for it to run. So guys, I'll be right back when everything loads and we're actually in the app. Okay guys, so it is done loading now. So we just have to wait for it to, we're just almost in the app. So as you guys can see, we're in the app, and let's finally test it. So I'm gonna enter my first num, let's do 2. So I'm gonna enter 2. Okay, 2 is a little bit glitchy. So 2 times 3, there you go. And let's calculate. And okay guys, so we actually have an error in our calculations in our code, because we have an error, and I realized what the error is. It is that our int, we have to convert it back to a string so that we can put it in our text. So I'm actually going to change this to integer, because we need to change this to integer. It's very important to change it to integer instead of int. So let's change this all to integer. And now what we can do is we can do string. Let's do real answer equals. We can then do answer dot to string. There you go. And now all we have to do is put in real answer right over here. And let's do this. So guys, I'm also actually kind of testing it myself because I am finding some errors. So let's run this again, and hopefully it will work. Alright guys, so it is just about to load in. There you go. So let's add in like 5 times 6. Let's do 5 multiplied by 6. Calculate 30. As you guys can see, we get 30. Let's do something like a little bit more challenging. Let's do 23 times, let's change this to, let's do 5. Let's do 5. Okay, I guess. And there you go, 115. Let's try like 34. And there you go. So let's calculate it, 782. So there you go, let's do like 12 times 12, which is 144, and it gives us 144. So we can also, of course, change the font and make it look better, and we can also change the multiplied by, but this is how we do it. So this is how we create our calculations. This is how we do our calculator. So guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Just to summarize, this is a little bit complicated because first, when you actually do it, you have to turn the text. You have to turn the edit text into a string, then turn it into an integer, not an int. Remember that you have to do that. Then you have to turn it back to a string, and then you set it text. So you set the text view, then you really set the text. So guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in another awesome video. Bye guys!